going on, boys and girls? It's a beautiful summer day here in southern United States, Alabama, and we're getting ready to do some homemade dill pickles. Now, I've made these things before, but it's been a while since I've made some, and the video that I made before was a little bit longer. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. You know, you can always do something that you normally would buy in the store, and you can make it taste better. And plus, a lot of these things I've grown in my own garden. Some of them I bought at the farmer's market as well too. But so just kind of follow me along, and if you like the recipe, try it for yourself. It's easy, it's convenient, and it's delicious. Now again, I'm starting with some cucumbers. Here's some cucumbers. These are some squash right here that I have. Squash and zucchini in this bag, and these are cucumbers. I've already cut them up so that they'll fit in the jars properly, and we're going to show you how to do your brining prep. All right, to make your brine, you're going to use 1 quart of white distilled vinegar to 2 quarts of water. And then you can add on, like we're going to probably double this for mine because I've got about 3 gallons of cucumbers and squash over there. You're going to use canning and pickling salt. You don't want to use regular salt for this. And you can also use, with this, you're going to use about 1/2 cup of the pickling salt. If you want to add a little bit more flavor, you can also use anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 cup of sugar if you want them to be kind of savory tasting. We've also got our jars in our dishwasher that we're kind of cleaning real well and letting them get sterile. And then you also want to heat up a water bath. Alrighty, these are some of the things that I use in my fresh dill pickles. Of course, you've got to have some fresh dill weed. You can have some whole garlic cloves. You got to have some dried dill weeds. And essential is this stuff right here, guys. This is called pickle crisp granules. It is calcium chloride. It will make your pickles nice and crunchy. We got some whole dill seeds. We got some bay leaves. We got some pickling spice, which has a whole bunch of different spices if you want to have a little bit of a kick. Some crushed red peppers, and we've got some black pepper, whole black peppercorns. Now, if you don't want yours real spicy, you can take some of those things out of there. But again, the pickling spice, make sure you have some of that. Can you make the pickles without the pickle crisp? Yes, you can, but they won't be crunchy. Alrighty, another essential tool that you need for canning and preserving is this utensil set for preserving. It's got a jar funnel, a jar lifter, a bubble remover, a magnetic lid lifter. That thing comes in handy. You don't absolutely have to have it, but it'll prevent a whole lot of burns. This thing is made by Ball, and you can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy it in kitchen stores around. You probably find it at your local grocery store. And while we're at it, this is also another neat little device that fits down inside of your water bath. It makes it easier. It keeps everything lifted up off the floor of your water bath. It's got these nice little handles. It's got this little side thing that attaches to your pot so it can lift everything up out of the water. So it's a good little thing to have as well too. Alrighty, our jars are nice and clean. I'm going to show you how we do this. I normally take 3 or 4 garlic cloves. We're going to use about a teaspoonful of our pickle crisp, and that's not the one. I got one that's already open, guys. All right, 1/4 of a teaspoon. I may have said a teaspoon, but 1/4 of a teaspoon of our pickle crisp. And again, this right here is the stuff that's going to keep your pickles nice and crispy. We're going to take about 1/4 of a teaspoon of our dill seed, and you can make that almost a heaping teaspoonful. I'm going to take about 1/4 of a teaspoon of our pickling spice here. 1 or 2 is good. You want to get 1 bay leaf in here. It'll give it a nice little flavor. As far as dill weed is concerned, I usually use about a teaspoonful of dill weed on each one of them. as far as your red pepper flakes. Again, it depends on how spicy you want them. Sometimes people don't like them to have a lot of spice. Sometimes they do. And of course, you're going to put your sprig of dill weed, your fresh dill weed inside of it. Then you start filling the jars. Now, the easiest way to fill these jars is to kind of put everything in their sideways. Now, this is squash. These are zucchini here, guys, zucchini squash. I pickled some last year. I only made like a jar. They were some of the best things I had had. And again, you want to put them in there tight for the most part, very tight. And we're not going to show you all of this. We just want you to kind of see how it goes. Just kind of shove those things in there real good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our brine to our jars here. It is hot. Just be careful not to spill it all over the place. And you're going to bring it almost all the way to the top. But you want to have about 1/4 of an inch headroom. You don't want to fill it all the way up. Have about 1/4 of an inch. And that looks like about 1/4. You use your little doohickey here to get all the bubbles out of it here. And there are not a whole lot of bubbles in there that you can see. So, but you use this to work those bubbles out. Alrighty, after you've done that, you want to come around the edges. Make sure you don't have anything that's going to obstruct putting these lids on. And then we'll use our lifter to take our lids out. Now these are clean lids. I've had them in a water bath. We just want to put them up there. Just like that. And then we're going to put the rings on with it. And we're just going to hand tighten with these rings. Now, some people say you can stop right there and just let them sit out on the counter and just wait for them to seal themselves. I like to put mine in a water bath for about 10 to 12 minutes or so, and I've had good results that way. But some people say you can stop here and just put them on the counter and wait for them to seal. Guys, I knew there was something I was missing. Mustard seed. You have to have mustard seed. Well, you don't have to have it. Now, this one, I'm not going to repack that one, but it doesn't have it. But mustard seed really gives these pickles a really good kick. Alrighty, we sealed all the jars, and we've got everything packed and full. Now we've got it in our water bath. You want the water to be about 1/2 inch to 1 inch above it, and we want to bring it to a rolling boil. And then time it for about 12 minutes. All right, we let that bubble for about 12 minutes. Lift it up out of the water for about 5 minutes or so, and then we're gonna cover them up and do the other 6. All righty, we've taken them out of the water bath, and now we're just gonna sit them on the counter to cool off. The jars should seal. You'll probably hear them. You won't hear them sealing, but I'll hear them sealing as they sit on the counter. I usually hear them popping. They make a nice little popping sound. And then we'll have some pickles. You can eat these things in about a month. I usually let them go. I've let them go as long as a year, guys. All right, we got the last few jars. The first 6 there, they've already popped. They've already made the little sealing noise. Now I just took these out of the water bath. Did you hear that? That little popping sound? That was one of the lids sealing. So we'll let these sit. We'll let these sit for about 24 hours before we start moving them. We're going to cover them up. While I was making these things, guys, my mom passed away. That kind of sucks. So now when I think about eating these pickles, I'll have to think about my mom dying as I'm finishing up my dill pickle. So kind of a sad day, but a glorious day because she went nice and quick. So pray for your parents, guys. Tell your friends and family you love them. Have a great day. Peace.